Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to another video. I got a little something different for today. So as you know, when you're on YouTube, you kind of just walk through random videos sometimes, just pick different ones to watch. And lately I've been watching some tier list videos and I was like, you know what? I want to do my own. And the one I made up for today is rating the toxicity of gaming communities. So I thought it was kind of an interesting topic. I haven't really seen anyone make a tier list like this, unless I'm dumb, which is a possibility. So you know how a tier list works. I'm not going to dumb it down for you. You guys know. But basically, the tier list here I made were at the bottom, not toxic, they're really chill, and up here we got cesspool, and then we got everything in between. I'll explain where I put the stuff and why, obviously. And yeah, without further ado, let's just jump right into it. First things first, I put Overwatch here at the front on purpose, because it is my main game for a lot of years. I have over 2,000 hours on the game, probably getting close to 3,000 now, honestly, but probably not for a while. I don't play it as much as I used to. And a lot of people would probably think it would be like way up here, but honestly, I think I want to put it just on average. You usually see a decent amount of people complaining about the game, but I feel like it's just a vocal minority with Overwatch, because there's still a lot of people who just chill with the game. So yeah, I personally have problems with the game still at times, but honestly, it's not as terrible as people make it out to be sometimes. I got really nothing much else to say there, so let's move on to the next one. Alright, next one. This one right here is supposed to be Fallout 4, but the title got cut off because of the image size. I was just gonna clump all the Fallouts, but I wanted to separate it a couple, and I'll explain why later. But for Fallout 4, honestly, not toxic. Actually, no, barely toxic, but like at the bottom-ish. The reason why I say that is because like some people usually complain about like the dialogue and some other stuff with the game. Usually a lot of the older fans are the ones complaining, but for the most part people are usually pretty chill with it. So yeah, nothing much else to say there. Alright, next up I got Apex here. Now this might be a little bit biased because I haven't played in a while. Last time I played like decently amount was when Watson came out, so I haven't played it in quite a while, but I've kept up with the game on YouTube and other places. And honestly, I think I'm just gonna put it about the same place as Overwatch. It's just kind of like people complaining about the game with balance and aim assist and stuff. Honestly, I think I'd put it above Overwatch low-key, which might shock some people and people might not agree with me, but that's what I think. I feel like there's a little more complaining from this than this, you know what I mean? I'm just gonna leave it at that because I don't keep up with it as much as I do Overwatch, so yeah. Alright, next up we got Borderlands here. Now this is Borderlands 3, but I'm combining all the Borderlands together. So I'm going to put it at... it's actually kind of a tough one. I want to say barely toxic because people are pretty chill, but then with the newer games, there's a lot more complaining. You know what? I think I'll go with barely toxic, but like at the top. Because there are these people who complain about some of the newer stuff. Some are valid, some are not. I already talked about that in my own video, so yeah, nothing really much to say about Borderlands. It's Borderlands, they're chill. Alright, next up, this one's a little bit cut off, but we got Deep Rock Galactic here. And honestly, a lot of people would say put it not toxic, but honestly, I want to put it at barely toxic. And the reason why I say barely toxic is because overall it's a pretty positive community, but there are people who are like ride or die with the game, which is like a little obsessive for me at least. Like it's a good game, but it's not that good. It's another game like that I'll talk about later, but like at least with them, they like understand there's other games at times, but there are some people who go a little too far. Plus there are people who play the game like, oh, you gotta be level 2 million to play with me. And it's like, okay buddy, humble yourself. You know, like wipe the Cheeto stains off and like go touch some grass and then come back to the computer, okay? Alright, up next here we got Five Nights at Freddy's. Now I'm combining all of them together because, well, if you play the first one, you follow all of them. Especially for the lore and stuff. That's a headache of its own, but you know. Anyway, now this was before Security Breach. I'd put it a lot lower, but with all the stuff that happened with Scott Cawthon, people canceling them and stuff, people just being very rude. But I just remember people were just complete dicks, basically. So I'm gonna put it in somewhat toxic because of that. That's not the only reason though. A lot of people who like make theories and stuff, people always just argue who's right, who's wrong. And if they don't like your theory, you're an idiot and all that stuff. Like, it's just a game where people are trying to put together the pieces of the story. Like, just let them do it, alright? Let the people do their own way, and you do it your way. Don't be children about it. Alrighty, up next, For Honor. Now, this is a pretty fun game for me. I really enjoyed the style of the game. Like, it's such a fun game to play. But not very toxic. It's a toxic community, though. Like, the way people play is very toxic at times. Like, the way some people play. And some way people think about the game. Like, it's just the way that people think about the game and approach the game makes it look very toxic, to me at least. Especially if you're like looking at it from the outside, it's like, oh my god. It's a very fun game ruined by the community. Up next, I got Fallout 76. Now, this might surprise you if you don't play the game, but if you do play it, you're not surprised by this. Not toxic. It's a very chill community. It's not the largest community because of like the reputation it got at launch, but honestly, if you came back today, it's a decent game. And plus the people are very nice in it. And all my time playing that game, which isn't like a ton, I have like a level 200 character, so it's a decent amount. I'd say I only have one bad experience with a person, and like that's it. And even then, it was like a 10-second thing. It wasn't that bad. It's a pretty chill community. People are very nice. They're very nice to each other. There's a word I was thinking of, I can't remember it. Like, people go out of their way to help each other a lot, especially at events. There's usually events in the game. I'm just gonna explain this quickly for people who don't play. There's events you can go do where there's legendary enemies at times, and killing legendary enemies obviously gives you legendary loot. But the way the loot works in the game is that you have to damage them to get the loot. So a lot of people will like damage the boss, and then they'll wait for other people to damage it so everyone gets the loot. Like, they're just very courteous, that's the word. They go out of their way to help each other. There's a lot of small pleasantries that they do with each other in the game. If you play it, like if you know, you know. Just a very nice community overall. Alright, so next up I got Halo, and I'm combining all of them together like I did with Borderlands because I played a couple of different ones but not a ton. But overall the community seems pretty chill. There's people who like complain about the game with stuff, which is sometimes valid. It's fine. Someone put it barely. There's just like people who aren't that happy, but it's usually not too bad. At the end I'll probably order these around, so these aren't in order right now, but I will order them later. Alright, next up we got Sea of Thieves here. A game I played a decent amount. I play it kind of on and off every once in a while. It's not my personal favorite game, but I understand people who enjoy it. Honestly, I want to go somewhat with like FNAF. There are some decent amount, not a decent amount, like some people who like go out of their way to be toxic. I get it, it's a game where you fight and be pirates, but there are some people who are very excessive about it at times. It's just those few people that kind of make it a little toxic for me. It doesn't happen that much, but it's just that little bit where it's like, ugh. Alright, next up we got Rainbow Six Siege. This image got cut off, but you can see the operators on here. We all know where this is gonna go. This is gonna go way up here. And I don't even play this game a ton, but people are just so unhappy in this game, I swear to God. People are just never happy. If you aren't performing well, they'll just TK you or team kill you. They always message you. People are just, they're little whiners. It's a little annoying. People just like to cry in your ear a lot. It's kind of annoying. And I don't even play ranked. I only played just the casual side. Oh, I hate to see how ranked is. Alright, next up, this is kind of a throwaway. I put Risk of Rain 2 on here. I don't remember why I put it on, but it's pretty chill. It's a nice community. Everything I see is always pretty positive. I haven't really seen a bad thing yet, honestly, but I just started playing recently, so that could change, but it looks pretty chill. Alright, next up we got a big one, GTA 5. Now people are probably thinking, maybe like around here, but for me, right at the top. This is easily, without a doubt, in my own experience, the most toxic game I've ever played. And I play Overwatch, so that really says something. The amount of egos I see on this game easily outshines Overwatch by like tenfold. The amount of ego I've seen from people when the game literally plays itself aim-wise, because I just play in the auto-aim lobbies because I don't care that much, but the amount of people who are so prideful to think they're good when the game aims for them is kind of crazy. And that's not even like an aim assist joke. When you play on console, the game literally locks onto people. That's how Rockstar games works. But yeah, so many toxic people, so many griefers, so much everything. People are just not happy in that game. I was gonna put Siege up here, but honestly, GTA just outshines it. It's a whole new level. Alright, up next we got Fallout New Vegas. Got a little cut off. You can see the New Vegas. Now this might upset some people. That's kind of why I made this video, just to piss people off, to be honest. But I'm gonna say it's average toxic. Honestly, I'm gonna say it's worse than Overwatch. I don't care, come at me. The amount of people who dick ride this game still in 2023 is kind of ridiculous. Like, we get it, Fallout New Vegas was a good game for its time, but it's not God's gift to Earth, and that was years ago when that game came out. We need to move on already. There are new games that are better. Even Fallout 4. Fallout 4 is better, in my opinion. I don't care, come at me. I will fist fight any single person that disagrees with me. That's why it's so high, literally for people who just meat ride this game still to this day. Like, there are new games that are better, go play them. Stop playing New Vegas for the 73rd time. Alright, next up, we got Skyrim. There's not really much to say about Skyrim. We know, it's pretty chill. People just like the meme on the game because it comes out like 5 times, but like even they're in on the joke. So it's like, it's pretty funny. People just chill. People just mod the game. And I mean mod the game, if you know what I mean. If you know, you know. Alright, next up, we got Dead by Daylight. I've recently started playing the game myself, so I haven't played it for like the longest time. I played it for like 2 or 3 months now. But I've watched a lot of content on it. If I were to rate it off my personal experience, I'd put it like here. If I were to rate it off videos, it would be up here. So I'm gonna go right in the middle with somewhat toxic. A lot of people who complain about the game are like the people who play it all day and are top rank. And I'm neither of those, so I enjoy the game. It's quite that simple, really. Up next, we got Fortnite, and this is just for the Battle Royale, obviously. Not many people play Save the World. I played it, it was pretty fun, but everyone plays the Battle Royale. We all know that. If I were to rate it, people would probably think like the same as Apex, but honestly, I think I put it one lower than Apex. And the reason why I think that is like, yeah, there's a lot of people who like complain about the game at times, but like with the addition of stuff like no build and like creative and all that stuff, there's a lot more casual side to the game now, unlike Apex. So it's a little bit more chill, but obviously if you play builds, it's still kind of sweaty. But if you go outside of that, it's a pretty chill game. Alrighty, up next we got Minecraft, the game everyone knows because it's literally the #1 game. If I were to place Minecraft brutally honest, I would put it at average toxic. Now some people might think higher or lower, but the reason why I say this is there's a lot of people who complain about the game, right? Like you always see everywhere complaining about lack of updates, not good updates, all that stupid stuff. They're entitled to their own opinions, even if they're wrong. But the thing is, with so many people complaining, even though it's like a lot of people, right? It's such a big community because so many people play it. I feel like it's just a small majority of people, if you get what I'm saying here. Like that there's so many people that complain, but there's still so many more that don't. That's kind of what I'm getting at. There's a good majority of people who are just play the game. They don't care that much. Or they just like play mods or servers and our stuff. They don't care that much. Alright, up next we got Roblox. Now Roblox, if you don't know what Roblox is, basically just a bunch of mini games on their site. So it's kind of hard to base it. But I think overall with the games, I would say like somewhat toxic. Because first of all, it's mostly kids playing, right? It's like a kids game, obviously. Kind of like Minecraft, so another game where grown-ups come to play and cry on it for some reason. Roblox is just like more chill overall, because there's like lots of different games to play, so people just kind of hop around a lot of the time. There are like people who like play like one game only, but overall it's like, it's not that bad. Alright, up next, I got Call of Duty. This is just a Modern Warfare picture, but obviously it's all Call of Duties like all the other games. If I were to rate Call of Duty, I'd probably put it at toxic, honestly. It could be higher, but I feel like a 50-50 split is pretty fair, because there are like half people who are like, old one's better and stuff like that, and there are half that just play every game because they don't care. That's just kind of how COD is. Alright, up next we got Undertale here. If anyone remembers Undertale, it was a small indie game that came out in 2015 that a lot of people latched onto, myself included, because I was a weird teenager. Ugh, man, those were some days. Cringy pass aside, if I were to rate it, honestly, I'd put it at like, honestly, this one's kind of hard for me too. I don't know where to put it. I'd say somewhat toxic. Because overall, a lot of, actually, no, average toxic. I just remembered why. First things first, if you didn't like the game, people hated you for it. That was why I was gonna go for somewhat toxic at first, but then I remembered a lot of the other stuff that happened. So you would remember like back, I don't know how long ago it was, but remember when Markiplier tried playing the game? And he wasn't doing it the right way, air quote, and people just attacked him for it, and that's why he just stopped playing. Like, the way that people just treated YouTubers who didn't play it right the first time was just ridiculous. Like, I get it, they want them to get the endings and stuff, but let them figure it out on their own. You know, that's the enjoyment of playing games for the first time, is figuring out how to do everything on your own. People just fail to realize that nowadays. It was just a very weird community. Ugh, I remember it. But yeah, also very mean to outsiders. Alright, next up we got Terraria down here. And honestly, I'm just gonna put it in not toxic. I don't think I've almost never seen a negative interaction with this game. Every time I look at something or watch a video or anything, people are just enjoying the game, you know, like modding it, just playing it, discussing classes, all that stuff. Looking forward to all these updates. And the developers are so nice people too. Like, they always chat with people in the community and they always just add stuff because people want it. Like, it's kind of insane. I'm just gonna say it now. Terraria is what Minecraft wish it could be. Like, Minecraft is Daniel and Terraria is the cooler Daniel. Alright, up next we got Elden Ring, because I haven't played any Dark Souls. This is the only Dark Souls game I played. Honestly, I want to go pretty high, honestly. I'd probably say average toxic. The reason why I say average toxic is because a lot of people would yell at all these new people that they're like not playing the game right. Same with Undertale, but like it was way worse. Honestly, nah, I'm putting it toxic now. A lot of people would just attack the way people play. It's like, oh, you can play the game, but you can't use this item or this item or this item or play this way. Use this build. Can't use summons. Can't touch grass. Can't touch a woman. Like, holy shit, dude. People were just so aggravating to listen to. And now I kind of wonder, with the way how I played the game, I used some summons and I used like bleed and like the stuff people consider like cheese or whatever. I wonder how much I would have gotten attacked if I was like public or something with it. Like on YouTube at the time. Like, I even considered, like, man, maybe I'll even play the art Dark Souls games, but it's just the way the community treats people. It's like, ugh, I don't know, I don't think I want to be a part of that, you know what I mean? But I still enjoyed Elden Ring. Alright, up next we got Monster Hunter here. And this is Monster Hunter World, but obviously all of them, like usual, so like the others. If I would rate Monster Hunter overall, I haven't played a ton of them. I've only played the most recent couple, World and Rise. Based off my experiences of those two games, I would put it at, if I were to put it somewhere, I'd put it at like somewhat toxic. The reason why I say that is because, well, playing the game, I didn't have any problems. Whenever I interact with people in the community, like especially older fans, like I always got bickered at for like, oh, not good builds, or old games better, and all that stuff. It's like, ugh. So yeah, I just had a decent amount of negative interactions, like just talking to people, but playing the game itself is pretty nice. And even playing the game with other people is pretty nice, but it's like just talking to people like on Reddit, which I know that's a bad example, but like every time I try to have interaction about stuff like with builds, it's just people just want to cramp stuff down your throat, like, oh, you're not doing it right. Alright, up next, this one got slightly cut off again, but this is Team Fortress 2, obviously. You can see the mercs. Now, this might be another one people might hate me for. And I loved the game. I loved watching it. I loved playing it. I didn't play it a ton, but I watched it for a lot of years on YouTube when I was younger. Seeing everything and knowing what I know now, I would put it at average. The reason why I say it's decently average toxicity is because, first of all, people like to say like, oh, we're welcoming, we're a wholesome community, but they're not. If you don't play TF2 like they do and like it like they do, they attack you. They think they're the best game ever. They're like New Vegas, but like, I don't know if I want to say worse, but like a different breed, I guess. Like, this is the best game ever. This is the only game to exist. If you play anything else, you're stupid. And people are like, oh my god, we killed Overwatch and stuff like that. Like, no, you didn't kill Overwatch. Overwatch shot itself in the foot. You didn't do shit. They just think they're on top all the time. It's like, yeah, it's a nice game, but like, just the way people are in the community, like, they're not that positive. They act like they are, they're not. I didn't play it like a ton like some people, but in the few times I did play, I've had some negative interactions. Because I didn't play the game like how they wanted to, or just because I didn't like laugh at their joke or something. Like, it's just stupid things like that. Alright, yep, next we got Payday here. But for Payday 2, I put it like somewhat toxic. Because overall they're pretty chill, right? But there are a lot of people who are like, you have to use this exact build, you have to play this way, you gotta do this, do that when you join lobbies, especially like stealth lobbies. But like outside of those people, the game's pretty fun to play. Like, there's a lot of silly weapons and silly builds. It's just pretty fun to play once you get past those people. And I said a lot of P's, didn't I? So yeah, just pretty chill, ruined by some high levels. Alrighty, and the final game on here, which is honestly just another throwaway, we all know the answer to this one, is Animal Crossing. I don't think anything needs to be said here. I kind of just threw it on for another throwaway, but honestly, I like playing Animal Crossing. It's pretty fun. I get people who don't like it. I get that. And so do people that play it. If you don't like the game, they understand that. They just like to build their islands, show it off to people. It's pretty positive. Alrighty, so this is where they are all at now. I think I'm gonna look at this list for like 5 minutes. I'm gonna maybe move some stuff around, and then we'll get our final result. So let me think about it and I'll be right back, okay? Alrighty, after thinking about it for a few minutes, I moved some stuff around. First off, I moved Siege up because I was like, yeah, that game's pretty bad. I moved Minecraft up because same thing. That game is a lot more worse when I thought about it a little bit more. I bumped Elden Ring down because I was like, you know, it wasn't that bad. There were a lot of people who were just enjoying it for the first time, but there was just those diehard Souls fans that were like, oh, you can't do that, blah, blah, blah. And I bumped Dead by Daylight up just to the bottom of 30-40% average toxic. It was like, yeah, if you play a decent amount, you're gonna see a lot more people. And I put 5 Nights at Freddy's at the top here of this list here. And I think that's about all I moved. That's about it, really. This is my final result. Also, I went around and moved them, so this is in order, in my opinion. So this is like the very worst, and this is the very best. Actually, yeah, switch it around. This is like the very best. So yeah, this is the final list right here. If you have any of your own opinions, you can leave them down below. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Do you think somewhere should go somewhere else? Let me know what you think down below. Again, I just want to stress, this is my own personal opinion and or experiences. So our experiences may vary. If you find this type of content interesting, make sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, all that YouTuber stuff. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.